Hey folks, how y'all doing today, man? We appreciate you coming out, man. It's a good crowd out here tonight. I tell you what, I believe I see people standing back there because they can't find a seat. That's good, that's good. I like it when we don't always do that. I mean, sometimes we just got a few people, but, I appreciate you being here. And I want to tell you, because this is the night that, to me, one of the pivotal moments in the entire history of Christianity, and I think most non-Catholics would agree with this. It is when Martin Luther protested. That's why they call it the Protestant. All the Protestant religions, all of the Protestant Christianities are all based on this one man protesting. He said, I protest. It ain't right, And he was up in Germany there, and he wasn't no big priest or no high mucky muck or nothing like that. He was, I don't know, what was he, a friar or
just a lowly monk.
He was a lowly monk. He was a lowly monk, and they sent him down to Rome to take care of some business or something like that. And he went down there. Now he'd been abused as a child. He'd had a rough time. He was mixed up, yeah, a lot like me, but better, But he went down to Rome, this lowly monk down there. He loved Jesus. He loved Jesus. He read the Gospels. He read them over and over and over. And he just fell in love with the man because of his words, because of what he said and what he did. Who he was. He fell in love with him because of who he was. He fell in love with him because of what he said. He fell in love with him because of what he did. And he loved Jesus. And to go down into Rome and see the dirty, rotten, sexual perversion and all manner of stealing and murdering and backbiting and every ugly thing that human beings do to other human beings, it was all right there in that church when he went down to Rome. And he didn't like that. And he came back and he said, I protest. And he wrote out, I think it was about 96, he called it the 96 Theses. And that was 96 different points. I protest on this, I protest on that, and I protest on that. Now, you done heard me. If you've been watching the show at all on some of them other channels, you know that I protest some too on some points. But I kind of got this little card right up here. And I'm going to, because I think that's the thing that has not been done. We did not get right with the Bible in whole at that time. He did the best he could. I don't think he expected that he was going to change all of Christianity. I don't know what he expected, but he never did. And never in the entire history of Christianity do we ever find a date when a denomination or a big church or a big church leader, anybody ever said, hey, let's put all our traditions on hold. Let's put all our doctrines on hold. Let's put all of our teachings, all of our customs of that regarding our faith here and regarding our journey with Jesus. We'll put all that on hold, and we're going to pull open that Bible and straighten it up. We're going to get right with what Jesus said. It's never happened yet, folks, and I'm saying it's going to happen right here on this show here. Not just for you people out here, them people on the camera too. They get to hear some fired up, and I don't preach, folks. I teach. I teach what Jesus taught, and I think that's going to make all the difference. Now, whenever Christianity misrepresents the words of Christ, I protest. My name is Daniel Putnam Green. I protest anybody that misrepresents what Jesus said in the Bible and misrepresents it to an audience for money. I'm protesting right now. See another one here. Yeah, buddy. Whenever the promises of Christ are taught without the requirements for those promises, I protest. That's like when they say, oh yeah, Jesus said you get this, and Jesus said you have that, and Jesus said that. Jesus said, if you do this, you have that. If you'll obey me on this, you'll get that. That's what he said, and you got to keep them two in there together. Now, when church leaders teach us to not keep the commandments of God, oh my God. Jesus told us, keep the commandments. That's what he said. He said, if you want to enter into life, keep the commandment. You go back in the Old Testament when those commandments were given, they were carved in stone with the finger of God. God wrote them things in stone with his own finger. You going to tell me that that seventh-day Sabbath ain't important? You better believe it's important. That's the fourth commandment, man. That's the Sabbath is Saturday, not Sunday. Now, I'm not a Seventh-day Adventist. I think they're off on a bunch of crap, too. But they know when the Sabbath is, and that's a commandment of God. So we're going to get them commandments right. We're going to get them, we're going to put the promises and tie them in with what he said gets that promise, like forgiveness. You know, oh, I'm forgiven because I accept Jesus. No, you got to forgive all them other scumbags. Then you get that forgiveness. And all such like that. Ta-ta.